Hello. It has been what feels like it forever. I am just quickly double checking my. Hello. Oh, it has been what feels like it forever. I am just quickly double checking my. Hello. Oh, it has. Okay, let's start that again. That's a bit too much. Beautiful. I'm just checking, make sure I'm live. I'm very sorry about that. Yes, I'm live. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching live, please pop on, say hi. I would love to see you. I would love to hear from you. If you're watching a replay, please jump on and say replay. So I know that you've seen the video and I don't have to tag you in it again, or I can redirect you to the right training video at a later stage. So today, as we go into the Christmas season, as you can see, I have decorated, me and my friend have decorated the apartment. So we are starting to get a little bit festive. For me, Christmas isn't, it never was a huge thing. I have always worked in hospitality for 12 years. And so last Christmas and this Christmas are the first ones where I'm not going to be serving a load of drunk, wretched people. I'm not going to be working ridiculous hours. I'm not going to be crying because I'm on my feet for so long. I'm actually going to eat well. I'm going to look after myself. So this Christmas is really special to me. And because it's special, I wanted to jump on and give you kind of some beautiful top tips. You know, although I have only not had many Christmases with my family, I've definitely experienced it all in like the last Christmas, and it's been ridiculous. Not only that, is I have had a lot of questions and worries and concerns from a lot of my clients as well, who are very concerned about Christmas and worried about the things that they might come across. So I've kind of put everything together in this video to hopefully give you a better idea of how to prepare and how to tackle Christmas year after year after year. So you can come back to this video next year. I'm very sure, very certain I'm going to tell you all of the same things again. So hey, you might be watching this next year, who knows? And that would be 2023 Christmas. Beautiful. Well, again, thank you for joining me. If you're watching replay, please let me know by typing in replay below. Let's get to it, shall we? Let us get to it. So first and foremost, why do we use Christmas as an excuse? Just let that sink in for a minute. So maybe twice, possibly even 3 times a year, we give ourselves that exception. Oh, it's just Christmas. Oh, it's just my birthday. Oh, it's just an event, whatever one that you might have. Why are you giving yourself an allowance to eat, drink, and feel shit about it? I mean, in all reality, it's just one day. It's just one day in the year. So it's not going to completely sabotage everything that you have done. But at the same time, it's not going to help it. It's not going to help your ego. It's not going to help build your self-confidence. It's going to knock you down, and it's going to confirm those beliefs that you have about yourself, that you can't do this, that you can't follow a meal plan, that you can't follow a plant-based lifestyle, that you can't follow a weight loss regime. So although it's just one day of eating and you can massively overconsume on your alcohol, on your food, you could probably just go completely sideways and eat loads of meat or animal-based foods. And that's totally okay on your body. Your body will be able to kind of process it and get over it after a while if you're able to recoup properly. But what's going on up here is a lot more intense. You're using Christmas as an excuse. Oh, it's stressful. Oh, yeah, but family around. Oh, yeah, but it's the only time of year that mince pies are out. Bullshit. Sorry. It's not, because I've seen mince pies in frickin' Easter. We use it as an excuse because we need to blame something else. We need to defer the responsibility onto something else but not ourselves, because that would make us feel bad about it. And that would confirm our beliefs that we cannot do something. So you're blaming the season, you're blaming the food products, you're blaming the alcohol, you're blaming all the marketing, you're blaming all the supermarkets. And to a degree, yes, I get it. It's been forced upon us. It's been marketed in the radio, in the television, everywhere you look. You have more food that's being marketed around Christmas. But it's not their fault that you choose to put something in your mouth. That is your responsibility. So first and foremost, stop using Christmas as a bullshit excuse as to why you can't do this. And if that was your main excuse, let's have a chat. Jump in my DMs and say, hey, I was using Christmas as an excuse. What can I do? Because if you're using it as an excuse, you won't make progress. And if you think the holidays are all about food, this is why you're struggling. Food is everywhere. Food is everywhere on the shelves all year round. It is always on the TV. It's always on the adverts. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having to put up with watching the World Cup. Every advert, there's an advert for KFC on there. There's an advert for some kind of food. Food's everywhere all year round. It's always at the grocery store. It's always on TV. It's always on the radio. If you tell yourself that all the holidays are about the food, then all year round you will struggle with holidays, because it will be about food and it will be centered around food. And that is the thing that's tripping you up at the moment. So food is everywhere, folks. So I invite you to ask yourself, what else can the holiday be about? Does it have to be about food? I'll come back to that in a moment. Christmas can be attached to many smells. I mean, for example, we got a candle that smells like Christmas, orange and cinnamon scented candle. This is just from Tesco's, just in case you're wondering. And it smells delicious and it smells fantastic. And this is the smells that reminds me of Christmas. Not pork wrapped in pork, shall we say, pig wrapped in pig. Not a salmon fillet, not meat, not mince pies. That smell doesn't remind me of Christmas. Candles like this remind me of Christmas. Do you know what else reminds me of Christmas? Is when you pull down all the Christmas decorations from the loft and it smells really musty and dusty and you're like, oh, this smells like Christmas decorations. Is that just me? Is that gross? Am I the only one that laughs at themselves on the live? So Christmas can be attached to many smells. It can be attached to noises, to music, to flavors, to textures of food sometimes, to textures of tinsel as well. I don't know if you've ever felt tinsel, but as soon as I touch that, as soon as I feel that, I'm like, oh my God, it's Christmas. Oh God, no, I'm gonna have to spend loads of money. So detach the idea that food and consumption is what Christmas is about, and start attaching other things. Start attaching candles, decorations, making freaking Christmas cards. If you saw my story the other day, me and my housemate, we were like, right, okay, we wrote a list of all the people that we were going to do Christmas cards to, and then we literally just got out like a set of paintings and some cards and made our own Christmas card. If you get this, I know who this is going to be too. If you get this, then you're going to see your Christmas card before. Oh, by the way, they're going to be little elves with actual smiley faces on. I've just only done half of it and I'm not very artistic. And that is like a gold ring. Anyway, so Christmas can be attached to other things. At the moment for you, if you're worried and you're thinking, oh God, Christmas is coming up, there's going to be loads of food, it's going to kind of sway me from my diet, or it's going to sway me from being plant-based or whole foods. If it's all revolved around food, then you know that Christmas for you is centered around food. And that's not fair on you. You're trying to make progress, you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to adopt a plant-based or whole foods plant-based lifestyle. So detach that notion that Christmas is only about food and start thinking of all the other things. I'll come back to that in a little bit. I'm just working through my notes that I've got here. So so this is one thing that I did write in there. these things, the noises, the flavors, the textures, the traditions, they will evoke many feelings of comfort, of joy, some maybe sadness and anger, but it doesn't mean that the flavor of mince pie is the glue that holds the family together, though it probably could be used as glue. I wrote that in my notes and I really wanted to say that in. So you can start by shifting the focus from the foods that you can't have, and I use inverted commas because it is not necessarily a food that you can't have unless you have a strict allergy, unless you have a severe allergy to something, then in which case, yeah, I'm saying you can't have that food. But unless you have an allergy to something, you can have food. You can have it. You can have alcohol. Again, unless you're severely allergic to it, you can have it. But we're talking about foods that we don't want because it's not supportive of our goals. It's not in alignment with our goals. Yeah, we don't need it. So shift your focus away from the foods that you don't need, but onto the foods that you get to have. Now, you'll recognize this mindset shift if you've done the abundance mindset work from my 28-day weight loss meal plan. So this is pretty much talking about the focus, the shifting the focus on what you don't get to have onto what you do get to have. And it is a huge factor. It is a huge contributing factor in the mindset, your outlook on things, your positivity, negativity. That can all be a contributing factor as to why you binge, as to why you might choose unhealthy foods that are not in your favor, that are not very beneficial. You all know that as soon as I get on camera, I cannot talk. It's ridiculous. So focusing on what you can't have through the season will just create so much drama, tension, stress, dread, FOMO, and you're not going to be able to drive through and enjoy your Christmas because you're constantly focusing on, okay, I can't have that, I can't have that, I can't have that. So shift your focus and say, I can have this, I can have this, I can have this. And do you know what? That could be a freaking gin and tonic. I get to have a gin and tonic. I get to have a glass of mulled wine. I get to have some mulled wine. That's great. If you get to have it and you're happy to put it in your plan and you're happy to consume it, by all means, shift your focus on that. Shift your focus on all of the beautiful grains, all the beautiful flavors, all the beautiful vegetables, or the fruits, everything else that you get to enjoy eating. This shift, priceless. So I just want to talk a little bit about family. And I just wanted to mention that it is very unfair to hold the expectations that family and friends will know how to cater to our needs when they might eat differently. So I don't know if you've ever hosted someone and they have a different diet, maybe they're paleo or keto, and you've gone, oh shit, what am I going to make them? I don't know. And then you start panicking. Imagine that, but with Christmas, when you're cooking for loads of other people. It is a little bit unfair of us to automatically assume that they know what they should be cooking us, that they know what we would like to eat. Okay, so don't hold that expectation that your family and friends will know how to cater for our needs. Jump in, help out. It's totally fine. Jump in, help out, cook, offer to cook with them, offer to give them a recipe. It's totally fine to help. And that's not going to upset someone because you want to help. In fact, it's probably going to make them feel better that they get to cook for you. If they're that kind of family member where they're like, no, I want to cook for everyone. Believe me, that's not me. If they're one of those family members that wants to cook for everyone, then you're going to have to say, okay, this is what you can do. Would you like me to do it with you? Would you like me to bring a side dish? Would you like me to bring something along so you don't have to worry about me, or so you don't have to worry about doing a plant-based alternative or a whole foods alternative? It's totally fine. They will be more than happy to accept that help or accept a recipe. If you go out of the way and take 5 minutes to go and get a decent recipe that you want to follow or that you are happy with eating, and that's all they want is a recipe, and they say, yeah, I got the rest, that's amazing. You have set up some boundaries. You have chosen what you are going to eat, and it's going to be in alignment with your goals. And you're not going to have to worry and go, oh my God, I've eaten so much this Christmas, because you won't need to. You won't need to eat too much. You won't need to eat the wrong foods. Beautiful. At the family, you will get the food pushers. Just saying. I mean, my nan is a prime example for this. Growing up, we would go and visit her, and she'd be like, "Oh, do you want a cookie?" "No, thank you. I'm full." Okay. "Here, do you want to have a pack of biscuits?" No. Okay, thanks, Nanny Joan. I'm okay. Okay. How about a bag of crisps? And 5 minutes after you sat down, you've got a whole pile of food on your lap. She's a food pusher. She does it out of love, because that is her way of showing love, and that's her way of communicating that. And that's totally fine. But you'll also get your questioners. Where do you get your protein from then, darling? How do you get your calcium? What do you eat? How do you eat enough? Oh, are you eating enough? You will get both of these, but just come prepared. With the food pushers, just say, no, thank you. I'm full. No, thank you. I don't want that at the moment. They're not going to feel offended if you push something on them, and you have your own boundaries. In terms of those that question you, I'm going to come back to that in a minute. But don't let you get in your own way. Just because you're plant-based, you're whole foods, however you identify your diet, doesn't mean that you will have to disconnect from your family, okay? And it doesn't mean that you have to miss out. Setting up these boundaries and changing some things around isn't going to take away from the love, the connection that you have for your family and that they have for you. And it's really important to understand that, because as much as it's simple to hear, how many of you, if you sat down and thought about it, actually, I eat grandma's mashed potatoes, even though they're loaded with butter and salt and fat, because I don't want her to feel bad. How many times do we do that? And especially at Christmas, so-and-so's slaved away in the kitchen all day. It would be mean if I didn't finish this plate of food. In reality, are they going to turn around and think that you don't love them? Or vice versa, are you going to think that they won't love you if you don't finish that plate of mashed potatoes, or if you don't finish leftovers? This not only works with what you're eating, so whether it's plant-based or not plant-based, whether it's whole foods or not whole foods, it also works with quantities too. So if you're eating until that satiated feeling, which is about 75-80% full, are they going to genuinely think that you don't want to be in the family, that you don't want to love them, that you don't love them anymore because you didn't finish 2 more mouthfuls? These are excuses. These are reasons which we have installed in our brains. These are what we know to be true, right? Or we think that they are true. We think that they are reasons, and good reasons, and that's why we act a certain way. Actually, it's not beneficial for you. It's not beneficial for your goals. And ultimately, you're just letting your family or your friends walk all over your boundaries. And again, that's not good for your self-esteem, for your self-confidence, and for you trying to achieve your goals later on in life, because it just confirms that belief that I can't do this. I tried it before. It doesn't work for me. No, we're getting you to a place where you can do this and where it is for you. And in doing so, sorry, girl, we're going to have to set up some boundaries. I want to talk about how we can turn a predominantly non-plant-based season, festive season, into a plant-based season. mindset. Again, we think that Christmas is all about the meat. It's all about the dairy. It's all about the ice cream. Is it though? I mean, my family are massive meat eaters, but it's all about the veg. Like, if you don't have peas, broccoli, cabbage, carrots, parsnips, Brussels sprouts, if all of these foods aren't at the table, it's not a roast dinner. If chicken was at the table but beef wasn't, it's still a roast dinner. It's still a Christmas dinner. If there was no other meats apart from pork, the only thing really that kind of that doesn't make it in my personal family, I don't know about yours, let me know if this is any different for you, but the only personal thing about it for me was in our family was actually it's kind of centered all around vegetables. It's all centered around the sides and everything that goes with it. There's not necessarily one thing that denotes, oh, this is Christmas. Tell a lie, that's the Christmas crackers. I heard that Americans don't have Christmas crackers. Please tell me if this is true or not, because this is really depressing. If you want to know what a cracker is, I'll put a picture below. If there's not a cracker at the table, it's not Christmas. But do you see how kind of silly it is? Just because one thing is not there or one thing is slightly different doesn't necessarily mean it's not Christmas. Again, it ties into what does Christmas mean to you? Okay, I'll come back to that in a minute. But along that lines, we can start manipulating our dishes. We can start manipulating our regular dishes, something that we feel is worthy of having the title of, oh, this is a Christmas meal. And we can turn them into plant-based or whole food plant-based or healthy meals. And you can do this by looking at each component of the dish. How can you make this vegan? How can you make this plant-based or whole foods? How can you make this healthy? But how can we make it healthy or whole foods or plant-based and incorporate the same flavors that remind us of Christmas? So think of a dish and think, what flavors does that hold? Is it a cranberry base? Is it a herb, so like a thyme or a sage or an onion or garlicky flavor? Is it spices? Is it cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger? Or is it berries for you? Is it cranberries, blueberries, blackberries? What kind of flavors are there? How can I manipulate this dish, leave out oils, butters, and fats, leave out the animal products, leave out the dairy? And how can I turn this into a more plant-based version or a healthier version of this dish? And there's so many cookbooks, there's so many recipes out there that we really actually have no excuses. And again, this goes back to making excuses. Are we just making excuses? Oh, Christmas is coming. Oh no. Oh, don't stop me from putting this in my mouth. That's you that's stopping you. Okay. Stop making excuses and learn that it is your responsibility of what goes in your mouth. It's your responsibility of what goes on your plate. It's your responsibility of how much you eat. And also, just while I'm here, why undo so much hard work, so much physical and mental work that you have been building up over the last few months? Why undo all of that for the future version of you to pick up the pieces? If you destroy all of your hard work now, future you, after Christmas or even after New Year, is going to be put back, is going to be set back months worth of work for one day, maybe 2 days, or even 3 days. 3 months for 3 days worth of demolition. Is it worth it? Would you do that to a friend? Would you go, oh, you see all of this work that you've been putting your hard ass into, that you've been putting all your energy, pouring all of your emotion into, see all this work, I'm just going to push it down. Would you do that to a friend if they've spent 3 months building that tower up? Would you just knock it down? You wouldn't. So why do it to yourself over the sake of 1, 2, or 3 days? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Think and focus of the future version of you that has to pick up the pieces, because it's going to be you and it's only going to be you. Well, in actual fact, it might be you and it might be your family. It might be your friends or your best friend or your spouse or your kids that have to pick up the pieces too, because you allowed the overindulging to happen. Anyway, I'm going on. I wanted to come back to the focus that, the notion that the focus doesn't have to be just about the food. Yeah, it's just one meal. So what does the celebration, what does Christmas mean to you? What does it mean to you? We need more emphasis on this. For me, it was about being together as a family. It was about spending time together. It was about playing music. Yeah, Radio 1 was on all day. And then when I went around my nan's, it was BBC 1, which was probably a Harry Potter movie. Playing music, playing games. What does it mean to you? Is it making Christmas cards? Make the event about other things other than food. You can keep this connection in your family, that love, that belonging, without eating food, without having to sit down and eat foods that you don't necessarily enjoy or that aren't supportive of you. If you brought a boyfriend along to a family event who was abusive to you, and I'm sorry, I should have done a trigger warning. If this is slightly triggering, I do apologize. If you brought a boyfriend or a partner along to a family event and they were abusive and they said nasty things, they perhaps treated you badly, would your family support that? Probably not. So why turn up at Christmas and expect your family to support you abusing your body by feeding it the things that are essentially poison, alcohol, like junk food? Now, this is a bit of a comparison here, but if you set boundaries with your family and tell them that this is not in alignment with your goals, this is not who you want to be, they will be supportive of that and they will go, oh, okay, let me help you out there. Like if you brought the boyfriend along who wasn't very nice to you, they would be like, come on now, we need to get a more supportive person. So the focus doesn't just have to be about the food. You know, it can be about the music, it can be about the movies, it can be about making Christmas cards. Maybe Christmas Day is a bit too late to make Christmas cards. It can be about the crackers, as I mentioned. It could be about other things. Make the event about other things, not about the food. You can keep the connection and the love with your family without upsetting them by saying, I want to eat slightly different foods this year. That's pretty simple. So just because you chose something different doesn't mean you don't love them. So like I said, create new traditions. Why stick to the same thing that your family has done year after year after year because it was tradition? Well, if you are starting or you have a new way of life now, why don't you start creating your own new traditions? Why don't you bring it forward to the family and say, hey, I would like to create this as a tradition. Can we incorporate it? Asking never hurt anyone. Not doing did. So this will, just to let you know as well, focusing Christmas traditions around other things that aren't food related is also going to help with kids when they grow up. It's going to take the emphasis off of the food and onto the connection between the family and spending time together. This will create so much less drama, much less trauma and tension with kids and their relationship to food later on in life. So I ask you the question, what events do you associate with Christmas? Guys, I want you to not forget, it's one meal, it's one day. Yeah, it doesn't need to be dramatic, doesn't need to lead to an argument. You ask for support ahead of time. You make sure that you know exactly what you want to eat, exactly what is going on your plate, exactly how much you want to eat, and you stick to it. That's it. No drama. Though there is a possibility for more family drama. Though you might be more forward thinking, your family aren't there yet. Okay. This is something that I had to struggle with a lot. Is I was doing all the research, I was learning all about plant-based foods, I was living it, I was seeing all of these spectacular results, and yet my family weren't listening to me, and they still don't. They see me as a successful plant-based weight loss transition coach, weight loss transformation coach, and they're like, oh wow, yeah, she's doing amazing, she must know what she's talking about. I turn around and I tell them, and I talk about food, and I talk about how they could help something that they're complaining to me about, and they're like, I don't want to hear it. Okay, it happens to me and my family, so it's probably going to happen to a lot of you too. And you can't feel that personal responsibility. That's your job to make them transition to a whole foods diet or to a plant-based diet or to a healthier diet. It's not your responsibility to make sure they lose weight. Okay, so take that off your shoulders, because that is a lot of responsibility to have. When you're around your family or around your friends, it is their own responsibility of what they put in their mouth, of what they put on their plate. If they have said, look, I need your accountability, I need you to slap everything out of my hand that's not in alignment with my goals, X, Y, Z, then maybe you've got some pressure there. But ultimately, you generally don't. So take that pressure and that burden off yourself. It's not your job to make them transition to plant-based. It's not your job to make them vegan. It's not your job to make them healthy. As long as you realize that you need to look after numero uno, yourself, then you can breathe, you can enjoy Christmas and know that you're doing this for yourself, and that's totally fine. So you're more forward thinking than your family. That's okay. Just because we're all vegan and plant-based, it does mean that we're better than everyone else. I'm joking, kind of. Don't forget that you've made the journey to where you are by yourself. They haven't made it for you or with you. And that can actually be quite triggering for those around you. They might go, oh my God, Susan's changed. She's eaten a lot more vegetables. And they might go, I bet she doesn't like my cooking. And then suddenly it's on them. Okay. They might start to back out. They might start to put up a front. They might start to ask questions, to dig a little bit more. But do you know where this is coming from? It's not coming from a place of hate. They don't hate you suddenly. They might be envious of you, but it also might come from a place of fear. Okay. A lot of our actions, a lot of our behaviors boil down to one of three things, and fear is one of them. Don't forget that you've made your journey. They are now worried of losing you. They are now worried that you are going to find someone or somewhere else or another Christmas with another family that is much better than them. And they might act out because of this fear. But know that when we do act, or when we behave a certain way, or when we have certain actions that's boiled down from fear, it's not conscious, it's subconscious. So just know that they're not doing it intentionally. And it might be because they feel like they're losing the only one they know, or that diet might highlight to them the things that they might be doing wrong, or they might suddenly go, oh, hang on a minute, maybe I'm the one that's being wrong. And that's quite triggering, especially for someone who doesn't know or doesn't see that coming. They might feel judged, and they might dish out loads of reasons why they are or aren't doing something. And then suddenly it might sound quite defensive or argumentative. Like I said, it boils down to that fear of disconnection, of abandonment, of love. And that could be from you to them or them to you. Just understand why they're behaving like this. It's not their fault. And it's something that they're doing that just doesn't align with their values. Maybe it doesn't feel good to them, so they want to make themselves feel better. They'll be simply justifying their actions in order to improve their values and their beliefs. Because like I said, it's scary work. And if you're not ready for it, it can hit you like a ton of shit. I was going to say like a train, but like that. Beautiful. And one thing I want to finish off on, which is quite important because I've had this a lot with my family. Sometimes you might be getting ridiculous questions or statements that can feel quite triggering. It could feel a little bit like harassment. It could feel a little bit like bullying. Like when someone's perpetually dangling meat in front of you, when they're constantly going, oh, you look skinny, you look gaunt, oh, you should eat more. Perhaps the other way, they might say, oh my God, this is not treating you very well. Oh, you've put on weight. Whatever it is, stay calm, share your knowledge in a wise way and authority around the subject. When they don't stop and it feels like harassment or bullying, that's when you need to start setting up boundaries. You know, we want to communicate and hold strong boundaries, which a boundary is basically a line that you put up for yourself that stops you from getting hurt, but in a constructive way, right? It's a guide on how you want to be treated. So if it does get really bad, articulate to them that they've stepped over the line. That's my boundary and you've crossed it. That's not fair. No need to be fearful. You don't need to dig down and come back with a really brutal comeback. Just be slow, be calm, and articulate to them why they've stepped over, what the mark was, why they stepped over it, and how you feel. This is okay to do, guys. This is a boundary. This is how you set boundaries. Tell them what you will and won't accept from people. And tell them that you will leave. You will have to do something. Because if you don't have a consequence, it's not really a boundary. So respect yourself this Christmas. Respect your future version of you. Set boundaries to those around you where they need to be set. And set expectations as well. So don't use Christmas as an excuse for the future version of you in January 2023 who's busting her ass off at the gym, not enjoying herself, starving herself because she ate too much over the 3 days or even a week out of 365 days. And you decide to binge for 7 days. That is a lot of work to undo. Don't use it as an excuse. If you think the holidays are all about food, switch the focus. Change foods and manipulate foods so that they work with your goals. Focus on the things that aren't food related or trigger related. What I mean by trigger related is it could be a certain type of food. It could be meat. It could be it could be animal-based foods. It could be alcohol. Okay. Those triggering foods, don't focus on those. Focus on what you get to have, not what you are not allowing yourself to have. Manipulate those dishes. Like I said, make sure that they are all vegan or plant-based or whole foods. Make sure that they're in alignment to your goals. There's recipes out there. There's ways that you can make it easier, healthier. And if you're struggling, send me a message. I'll let you know how. Focus on activities. Focus on the music. Focus on playing games, on spending time with your family. Don't focus the entire day on food because that's only going to play with this up here and that is not fair on you. Set your boundaries. Know exactly what you need to know. And understand that some people might be coming from a place of insecurity. That's okay. Just say, hey, still going to love you. Just not going to eat this. Still going to love you. Just not going to drink this. I hope this has helped. Please let me know. Either way, just going to quickly go back. Is there any? Oh, I haven't had any of the comments up or anything like that. Hey, June. Oh my goodness, you said that 38 minutes ago. I'm so sorry. Hi, Sheila. I've only just seen you ladies pop in. I totally should have checked that earlier. I'm so sorry, but hi, ladies. Lovely for you to join me. Thank you so much. I hope this has helped you this Christmas. I'm sending you much love. I will see you next week. If you've got any questions, concerns, put them underneath, put them in the group. Hey, I know some of you have been winning at the 7-day meal plan, and some of you have been smashing the 28-day meal plan, but you haven't celebrated. So come and celebrate in the group. Post your wins, post your pictures of your food. Show us, celebrate. This is what this community is about. It's not just about me ranting to you guys once a week. This group is a community. I would like you to be community focused. Let's support each other, enjoy each other's company, push each other on, because we're all on this journey. We're all trying to be the healthiest, happiest versions of ourselves. So if you have a damn win, let yourself celebrate that in the group. Let us all celebrate. If you're seeing some results from the free 7-day meal plan, if you're seeing some results from the 28-day meal plan, share it. I want to celebrate with you. All right, sending you much love. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye.